Okay, here we have a new machine to our shop, so we want to power it up. We want to see what it'll do. You know, we always get word from the people we get them from, you know, what kind of condition they're in, but we have to put it through its paces to check it out. It's a Tsugami SS20. It's a precision machine for a small lathe that does good work. So we want to get power to it, get air to it. Check it out. What I'm going to start with is around back. I'm going to get cord hooked up to it so we can hook power to it. Then I'm going to check the air requirements, get the air to it so we can figure that out, and go from there. We've got to check fluids, we've got to do all kinds of good stuff just to make sure it's ready to be powered up. So I'm going to go around back now, and I'm going to go ahead and get the electrical requirements for this Tsugami. It says 200 volts, we run 208, so everything should be good there. I've got a way to go in right here. And here we have our on-off breaker, a ground line. A lot of times they come in, you know, I always hook them up red, hook the three-phase up red, white, black. Sometimes it requires something different, but fairly simple to do. Red, white, black, and ground. There's that. We'll go ahead and close this up. Actually, I'll put this card back on. Always try to keep yourself safe. Air requirements. Have the air line coming out right here. And we've got a bar feeder for this machine sitting right here. And generally you can't run a machine that has a bar feeder without hooking the bar feeder up. There is a way to turn off the bar feeder, but generally I want to see if the bar feeder works too. So we will try to hook everything up in an effort to get it working properly. This. Grab a crescent wrench real quick. When it comes to the bar feeder, we got a lot of different cables and everything to hook up to the machine for that. So I guess I could start with hooking the bar feeder up. Good little hookups there. Easy enough. It does have a high pressure coolant system. I'm going to try to power it up without that first, because I just want to see if it'll work without it first. Okay, let me put the air line on here. See if anything dances when we do that. that goes anywhere else. I don't see that plug over here. I see all my gauges coming up. Put these, all my air gauges coming up. I can hear air going through the bar feeder, so I know sometimes you have little small air leaks, like I have one around that gauge right there. I'm going to try to keep moving forward even with that. Now we're going to power it up, see what it says. Start with the main breaker. Power on, you can hear the fans coming on. That was blowing out pretty good. So we will walk around front. And we can see the control is starting to come alive. There's some buttons on. Some machines, as soon as you turn that breaker on, the control starts coming up. This one's a little bit different. It's got a power button. So we're going to go ahead and hit the green power button. Got a Sanook control. Good stuff. And just wait for it to go through those cycles. They should have music that plays while it's doing it. Mary Had a Little Lamb, anything.
What about Tupac?
Tupac, definitely some Tupac. I did actually run some Japanese machines before that would play whenever they would have a fault. They would play a song like Mary Had a Little Lamb or something, and for a different fault it would have different songs. So I always thought that was kind of cool. Okay, we are getting at startup the high pressure pump alarm, so we do need to hook the high pressure pump up. So that's going to take me a little bit, so I'm going to get that hooked up. Okay, this is the high pressure system, the MPI system, the coolant system. We've got a plug, which we know we need, but I've got things like this that I don't really know, at this point, I don't know what it goes to. So I've got to do a little bit of checking in. I don't want to plug this in with all those bare wires. That could make me very unhappy, make somebody very unhappy. So I got a little bit of work to do here just to get this thing ready to be plugged up. Right now, I believe I can see where those hook up. The only bad thing is they're not marked. So, I mean, that would be, so the best thing I can really do is just start by just taping them up and going from there. Okay.
So how do you know which wire is which?
Actually, now that I'm looking at these, they're all numbered. They're each individually numbered. I'll give you an idea of what that's like, if your camera's good enough to see it.
Wow.
Like you can see, that one's number 7. It's got a 7 on it. We got number 6 right there. That one's number 1, and they're each individually labeled that way. You can see a number 10, and that's always ground.
So this is to install the bar feeder?
Yes, yes. But first I'd have to find out where those go. That would be the fun part. Now that I know these are numbered wires, I'm going to take one more look in there just to see if it is. if there is a place to wire it up. And there's nothing obvious. Personally, I like obvious. If it's not obvious, I start with not using it until I have to, and then I'll figure it out and hook it up properly.
Somebody left their oatmeal packets in the bottom?
Oh yeah, oatmeal. Now, a lot of times when people, I think when people really care about their machines, they put some moisture absorbing packets in there that will actually absorb some of the moisture. You got a little bit of oil in here, but that's fairly normal. Otherwise, I mean, this is a super clean cabinet, which personally I love seeing. I love seeing a clean cabinet. Okay. Tape up these. This thing's pretty oily. I mean, even marks like that on your cable give you an idea of where that cable was, and it'll give you an idea of lengthwise. I'm just about sure that we go into this slot and we clamp down on it on that mark. I can actually run it in to that mark. And that doesn't tell me very much at all. Okay, tape them up. Pick the high road.
Taping time?
Taping time. And as usual, we got a mixture of. Oh, that one's, look at that. You gotta love it when they work with you. Okay, all those were loose. Now, we're gonna open this side up and see what we need. Actually hook it up. Here's our breaker, our on off. So we're going to have to replace this line coming in right here that goes to the breaker. Because the people who sent it to us just snipped it off right there. Okay. Let me go find a cable for it.